Tonight's headlines are brought to you by McDonald's.
Good evening, Commonwealth, and thanks for watching the Channel 2 News. I am Sally Lemus. Let's take a look at tonight's top stories. The Sinamay legislature says bribery and misconduct in public office are part of the NMI Boost program. Also tonight, a fiscal cliff could await the next Secretary of Finance. And the Marianas is losing flights in March from one of its longest air partners. In sports, a sporting family sends a mister to the West. Stay with us. These stories and more are next.
What's the move? Kinda wild out. Catch a groove. She said, where you going? What's the move? Kinda wild out. Catch a groove. What's the move?
And there you have it, McDonald's new crispy chicken sandwich. From the makers of the world's most stolen fries. The juicy chicken sandwich from the place that offers extra napkins for a reason. The tender chicken sandwich from the creators of a sandwich phenomenon. So you won't just be biting into a chicken sandwich, you'll be biting into McDonald's new crispy, juicy, tender chicken sandwich. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Half a day to the WAMI and good evening, Commonwealth. Today is Friday, January 6, 2023. Boost hearings on Capitol Hill have concluded, and lawmakers are now pushing for possible prosecution. Bribery and misconduct in public office. These are some of the findings from the House Ways and Means Committee, together with the Judiciary and Governmental Operations Committee, on the past Boost hearings. Chairman Donald Maglonia states the committees have submitted their reports to both the Office of the Public Auditor and the Attorney General's Office, listing possible violations of law and urging the entities to look further into the matter.
The committee had provided for violations of law that the OAG and the OPA can look into. First one being 1 CMC Section 6402, payment of value to vote or aid in securing nomination for another. 1 CMC Section 6403, payment of value to vote, not vote, or reward for same. 1 CMC Section 8535, restraints on votes, deliberations, and discussions. 1 CMC Section 9904, meetings declared open and public. 6 CMC Section 3201, bribery. 6 CMC Section 3202, misconduct in public office.
The report also suggests legislation that would give lawmakers a say in ARPA fund expenditures.
And as you know, there are several legislations that are pending in the Senate that the committee had, or that the House had passed. And one of that being House Bill 2233, which was to require legislative appropriations on the American Rescue Plan Act. And I understand that ARPA is ending in year 2024. And so it is our hope that the next legislature will continue to consider that and possibly reintroduce that.
Maglonia states there is still a lot of work to be done, which can be picked up by the incoming legislature.
while we are in our last session of the 22nd legislature, the joint committee submits its report so that should we enter into the 23rd legislature, whichever committee, whether in the House or the Senate, can take this up and continue the work that the committee members, took throughout this past couple of weeks.
The CNMI House says the Boost program was a heist that delivered taxpayer money to insiders, and that the misuse of federal funds has put both individuals and the Commonwealth in jeopardy.
And it is with a heavy heart today that I come out to inform our constituents to brace yourselves for the worst storm in 2023. A storm that makes our recovery of Super Typhoon Yutu look like a walk in the park.
It is extremely disappointing and embarrassing that public servants, leaders of our Commonwealth, of our home, would display such greed and self-interest when many of us are advocating for a better Marianas.
The Boost program was a heist. Public money was stolen. Public money was squandered. Public money was exploited for personal and political profit. Only a very few, out of the thousands that applied, were grossly enriched. They were obviously well connected. The insiders of the Boost program want us to believe that award decisions were made based on the merit and uniqueness of the applications, even when large amounts of money and multiple awards flowed to the same individuals, the same families, the same business associates, the same political supporters, even the same bank administering the program and all its employees who applied.
Bank of Saipan was paid a percentage of the Boost money to administer the program. Bank said earlier this week they will be returning the remaining Boost funds in their account over concerns of the Boost program, but they did not indicate if they will be returning the $500,000 that the bank received in Boost awards. Congressman Ed Probst says he's concerned there has been no guidance from authorities on what to do next.
My biggest concern of this is it may all be spent. There has been nothing whatsoever put out by the feds, by OPA, by the AG to not spend these funds, to hold on to them, or to cease and desist for the time being. That's my biggest concern. Because what's going to happen is the money's going to be spent. I'm like, too late. Sorry.
Jess Tysagwe, one of the 3 Boost administrators who reviewed applications, was listed as an owner of one of the boosted businesses, a restaurant in Tinian, and a business associate of the owner of 4 other boosted businesses.
Mr. Tysagwe's business associates alone received over $1 million. One individual received that amount in the Boost program. Mr. Castro perjured himself when he, under oath, challenged the joint committee to name any of his family members who applied. He went on to further state that he was single. In other words, not married. We now know that during the testimony of another witness, that Mr. Castro's domestic partner applied and subsequently withdrew her application on the day of the FBI visit to the Bank of Saipan. Mr. Castro also claims he has no association with any of the companies or nonprofit organizations that received Boost. We know for a fact that Mr. Castro initiated the One Marianas nonprofit organization that received hundreds of thousands of dollars in Boost funds.
$17 million was allocated for the Boost program. It appears a lot of the money went to brand new businesses who got business licenses in the days just prior to submitting applications and without a well-formulated business plan.
And we heard from Mr. Tysagwe that we didn't care about the financial, with regard to financial projections. Are you serious? Because financial projections are critical in any business plan. And somebody who actually has experience in reviewing those would look and be able to detect and help them and say, your projections are unreasonable or they are very high.
Finance Secretary David Attelig did not testify in front of the JGO committee, but the legislature says they will recommend that he be subpoenaed in front of the next legislature. No word on whether the governor, Ralph Torres, will be subpoenaed as well.
It has come to our serious attention that ARPA funds were being used for expenses not in accordance with the rules provided by the United States Treasury. We have also come into information to date, the Secretary of Finance has only accounted for $33 million of the $481 million from ARPA funds to the United States Treasury. The Secretary of Finance has not reported to the U.S. Treasury since March of last year.
We did repeatedly reach out to Governor Torres for comments this week on the Boost program. All right, coming up after the break, an orchestra from Guam will perform live at the Hyatt.
Fast, fun, and easy. That's how your home Wi-Fi should be. So start with an internet plan that fits your budget. Introducing your home Wi-Fi starter pack, also known as WISP. Enjoy up to 25 megabits per second for as low as $35 a month, plus a free router with your wireless subscription. That's hours of movies, games, social media, and more endless fun. Get your Wi-Fi starter pack today only at Docomo Pacific. Better together. Additional conditions may apply.
Green sea turtles and hawksbill turtles call the Mariana Islands home. They are an important part of the marine ecosystem. They are under threat, and they are protected under CNMI law. Keep plastic out of the ocean. Keep vehicles off the beach. Use the Sea Turtle Stranding Hotline if you see poaching activities or if you see a turtle in trouble. Call 287-8537 and save a turtle. The largest show in the Pacific is looking for dancers to work on Guam. The show, Carrera, an island, a journey, an adventure. This is a unique opportunity for dancers from Saipan, Tinian, Rota, and beyond. Polynesian and contemporary dancers for one show nightly, 5 days per week, offering competitive pay, airline flights, and even housing for off-island hires. Join the cast and experience working with a world-class creative team that has worked with Madonna, Celine Dion, U2, and Cirque du Soleil. Show now in pre-production. It will begin in March. Casting call on now. Up to 40 dancers are needed. Send bios and photos to casting@baldiga.com. Sandcastle Guam. Casting call. Apply now.
Welcome back to the Channel 2 News. The MVA board met yesterday and received word that Asiana Airline will stop flying into Saipan in March, and that there is very little money in the bank, meaning major marketing plans may be at risk.
Asiana is calling it a suspension of service for now. The company's in the midst of being acquired by Korean Airlines, but has met with some regulatory hurdles, and the company for now has told travel agents they will stop flying some of their routes, including the NMI, in March of this year. Asiana does not fly to Guam. Korean Air offers service there, as the two carriers for many years have avoided direct competition on routes to Micronesia. Asiana is the only full-service airline currently servicing the NMI, and they boast an extensive route system throughout the world, code-share with United. So far, Asiana has told travel agents that the suspension is just for March, and they have asked the NMI for financial assistance in the meantime.
There are people asking if there is any possibilities or any opportunity to get the subsidy to renew their flights.
That's Sejin Kim on a Zoom call yesterday from Korea. The expectation is that the suspension of flights could easily go through December, or beyond, leaving an additional hole in air service. February is one of the peak seasons for travel from Korea.
Our seat supply, because of the TWA additional flights, we have like a 13,000 seats we have.
Guam is expected to have about 34,000 seats for the same period. MVA is currently scrambling a spending plan based on ARPA funds that were committed to MVA but have yet to materialize, has frozen marketing plans for the moment. MVA will need to make its case to the new administration in the coming days to find out more about the finances. MVA was previously funded through the hotel occupancy tax that was suspended during the pandemic.
With inauguration festivities set for Monday, the public is advised of temporary traffic adjustments. The inauguration for Governor-elect Arno Palacios and Lieutenant Governor-elect David Apatang is set for Monday, January 9, 10 a.m. at the Multipurpose Center. Traffic flow in Beach Road Susupi is expected to be congested. The CNMI Department of Public Safety lays out their traffic control plan.
This is a map of Beach Road Susupi. The red here box here is municipal multi. The event is going to be held at. So at 9:15 a.m., the traffic flow on the northbound in front of multipurpose will be closed off. The northbound traffic flow will merge into the southbound. So the southbound and the southbound and the northbound traffic will flow in the southbound outer lane.
The merge will begin at 9:15 a.m. at the traffic light in front of Marianas High School and Road Resort. DPS will then close the road at 9:45 a.m., 15 minutes before the ceremony begins.
If you are in a rush or you need to go somewhere right away, try to take another alternative route instead of Beach Road from 9 a.m. to 11, because this is going to be bumper to bumper and it's going to be congested. So just a heads up for whoever's wants to go.
There will be 4 designated parking areas for the public: the Civic Beach Center, Joten Kidzo Library, the Susupi Courthouse, and the baseball field. Inauguration Committee Vice Chairman Oscar Babauta says a shuttle will be provided at the gym to transport those who are interested in attending. Babauta adds the traffic adjustments are meant for safety and noise concerns.
Not only does safety is our first and foremost concern, rather also to include the noise that the traveling public would be passing through on this morning. We need to allow our dignitaries and both the incoming administration, Governor Palacios and Governor Apatang, to freely express their prepared statement or speeches that morning to our Commonwealth citizen and visiting public from visiting individuals from both abroad and in the Commonwealth.
DPS expects traffic to ease and go back to normal around lunchtime on Monday. If you are a fan of the latest theater releases or classical hits of the century, you may want to check out the Marianas Friendship Concert, featuring a group from Guam with a passion for music. The Tumon Bay Youth Orchestra from Guam is in Saipan this weekend for a friendship concert with some of the island's best music groups. The youth orchestra began in 2018 and has traveled to different parts of the world since then. In 2019, the group won gold at the Australian International Music Festival. Maximo Ronquillo Jr., who heads the Tumon Bay Youth Orchestra, says their group is made up of different schools on Guam.
Just everyone who always wanted to try to be in an orchestra, especially for the public schools, we don't have orchestra. Our private schools in Guam have orchestra, but a unique opportunity to combine all of them, kind of like an all-star group.
Since their arrival on Wednesday, they have been performing at schools around the island, sharing their music and making new friends.
So music is often one of those subjects that's put aside. It seems to be a trend all over the world. So music is brain food. Music does a lot for all other disciplines. Like medical school, for example, they're not looking for the smartest per se by book. Now they've been asking if they have music background to be a doctor, and the reason for that is finger dexterity, as well as their ability to handle stress, to cooperate with people. Music itself, so as a person listening to it, you already know it changes our mood, makes life a lot better.
Their genre varies from classic hits, latest theatrical soundtracks, and just anything in the audience of all ages will enjoy.
We have a lot of our talent in different areas of professions. Many of them have a music background. It's this sometimes unexplainable thing about music that helps people succeed. Definitely pulls them out of poverty, makes them have a better life, or just makes them enjoy life, especially when things get really tough. So that's the importance of music, at least to me and to us, why we're here to share our music. And we're so glad to have shared it to hundreds of students already in just the past 2 days.
This is their first off-island venture since the pandemic, and tomorrow they will be performing with Saipan musicians.
At 5 o'clock, the doors open for a Marianas Friendship concert. And we have several groups where we have got two groups, one group from Guam, just us, the Tumon Bay Youth Orchestra. We have Saipan's great talent here, the Marianas High School Glee Club. We have piano soloists from the Yonsei Academy here in Saipan. And then we have Saipan's very own Saipan Pacific Winds. So we'll end the concert with a combined ensemble. So we'll have almost 60 players playing together for the finale of the concert.
The Marianas Friendship Concert will be held tomorrow night, January 7, at the Hyatt Regency Saipan Ballroom. Doors open at 5 p.m. and the concert will begin at 5:30. Ticket prices range from $15 to $275. You can get the tickets online at the Guam Philharmonic.ticketleap.com or get them at the door. All right, folks, don't go anywhere. We have sports up next.
Need a new phone? Trade in now and get up to $500 off our best 5G devices. Trade in your older phone in any condition and step up to better savings and speeds only our 5G network can provide. Check out our website and catch up on the best mobile experience. Trade in now. Docomo Pacific. Better together.
Opioids are commonly prescribed drugs. They can help ease short-term pain after surgery, an accident, or illness. Common brand names include Vicodin, Demerol, OxyContin, and Percocet. Opioids can be very addictive, and they can actually change how your brain works. Opioid misuse can lead to death. If you are prescribed an opioid medication, talk to your doctor. Always take exactly as directed, never take higher doses, keep your medication secure, and safely dispose of unused or expired medication. It only takes a little to lose a lot.
This project was supported by a grant from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and the Commonwealth Healthcare Corporation. Contents are solely the responsibility of CHCC and do not necessarily represent the official views of the CDC or the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Freshness. It's the overall reason beer drinkers choose draft beer. And that's the reason Godfather's is making a serious commitment to offering their customers a full lineup of draft beer on tap. Choose from Lagunitas IPA, Sierra Nevada Pale Ale, Lost Coast Downtown Brown Ale, Fat Tire, Blue Moon, and more. All competitively priced. Godfather's Bar now serving the island's widest selection of ice cold beer right from the tap. Godfather's Bar, where everybody's family.
The Tan Su Lin Foundation promotes the culture of giving back. The foundation and its generous partners are committed to supporting programs that include health, education, and sports. Initiatives that promote arts and culture, the environment, and tourism will benefit our community and our residents. Giving back and making a difference will help ensure that the island paradise we call home will be a better place to live.
Tonight's sports brought to you in part by Tan Holdings through the Tan Su Lin Foundation, making communities a better place to live.
Buenas sports fans.
Our young star this evening is beach volleyball player who comes back home for winter break. Our Milan Goodwin tells us more.
Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. A quote by Clemens Wickler.
Young Star Shining, brought to you by the Tan Su Lin Foundation.
A beach volleyball player from a whole family of athletes comes back to the Marianas for the holidays. Here is Blake Mister.
My name is Blake, and I'm 19 years old, and I used to play volleyball.
Tice Mister, who is Blake's dad, started teaching Blake and his two other brothers how to play volleyball at a very young age.
My dad played a lot of beach volleyball, so he grew up showing us how to play that. So I'd probably say I got serious in middle school, late middle school maybe, 7th grade, 8th grade.
Blake continued to play volleyball in middle school and high school, but now Blake goes to school in Colorado at Fort Lewis College, where Blake can explore new sports along with volleyball.
I was born and raised here, so out there's a lot of snow, and I've been doing some snowboarding and just getting around in that. And we also have a beach court there, so I do a lot of beach volleyball as well.
Now that Blake is back for the break, he's taking advantage of the warmer weather to play volleyball again.
And my older brother, who came back from Hawaii, he plays a lot of volleyball as well, so we all just have been playing together.
After being exposed to all sorts of sports, here is Blake's advice to other young athletes, and a thank you to his parents.
Some advice for other young athletes, I'd say don't give up and just keep fighting for what you want to do. If you don't really have as much fun, maybe take a step back and think about other sports, just try out new things until you find out what you love.
Okay, is there anything else you want to add?
Oh no, just shout out to my parents, because those guys are the best people in the world. I love you guys.
Young Star Shining, brought to you by the Tan Su Lin Foundation.
What's the move? Kinda wild out. Catch a groove. She said, where you going? What's the move? Kinda wild out. Catch a groove. What's the move?
Hi, I'm Dre, one of the personal trainers here at Gold's Gym, and today I want to go over some exercises that you can easily apply into your current exercise program. Now I have here with me Vince, and he's going to be demoing some of those exercises. Now the first one today is going to be a one-arm dumbbell row. Before I have Vince here execute a few reps, what we want to remember with virtually any exercise is your setup. If you start in a bad position, it's not going to look good and it's certainly not going to feel good. So a common mistake with here is obviously a rounded upper back. And as you can see, he's not very rigid or stable. So what we're going to do is correct that just a little bit. So his supporting arm and his leg that's supported on the bench as well is going to, we want to lock that in. Open up that leg a little bit to allow for a better path on that dumbbell. With the elbows coming up way too high, you can see the shoulders riding forward, and that's not what we want. So ideally, what you want to think about is pulling with your elbows and stopping right at the midline of your body. So in this position right here, you can feel his entire upper back along with his core.
And for the KSPN weather report, tonight partly cloudy with isolated showers, northeast winds 15 to 20 miles per hour, lows around 77. Chance of showers is at 20%. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with scattered showers, northeast winds 15 to 20 miles per hour, highs around 84. Chance of showers is at 30%. For the marine forecast, seas of 7 to 9 feet will persist through the day, then slowly decrease to 5 to 7 feet Sunday. This decrease will be short-lived as seas will increase again to 7 to 9 feet on Monday. Moderate to fresh winds will continue through Saturday night before increasing Sunday as a shear line drops south days. These features will also include increased showers and thunderstorms potential for Saturday night through Tuesday, with locally heavy rainfall likely from time to time. The high tide will be at 9:04 a.m., low tide at 1:48 p.m., sunrise 6:45 a.m., and the sunset, you can catch that at 6:01 p.m. tomorrow night. And that wraps up your Friday edition of the news, sports, and weather here in the Marianas. Thank you so much for watching KSPN2. We hope you have a great weekend, and we'll see you back on Monday with more.